Now, the reason why I added Google Workspace on here, not just Gmail itself, because it's very confusing and most people have no idea the differences between them. And I understand, Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. I get it. What up, everybody? My name is Maestro Stevens with Iconic Templates. And in this video, we're going to talk about my top 9 WordPress tools for 2024. So let's get in. All right. So when it comes to my top 9 WordPress tools for 2024, I want to start off this video with giving you an understanding of different tool types and categories. And for those of y'all who aren't familiar with this tool, BuiltWith, it is a great tool for you to use. And no, this is not one of the tools on the list, but it's a great tool for you to use to find out information on other alike websites, to find out information on websites in general, and the technologies that they use within these websites or platform. So this is what BuiltWith looks like. And for example, we're going to use our own website, iconictemplates.com. So here you're able to see, let me unpin this. Here you're able to see the category here called analytics and tracking, or the tool type. So these are types of tools. And you can see here we have widgets. You can see here we have e-commerce. Then there's frameworks and mobile. And we can go on and on. But I just wanted to give you some type of frame of reference on where I'm getting my tool types from. Now, here at Iconic Templates, we strive not to get too deep in the weeds of all the technicalities and the developer jargon, because that's not what this channel or what this platform is for. But I did want to give you all a little bit of insight on a tool that can give you that information if you wanted to know more. So for example, let's do WordPress. Now with WordPress.org, notice you see misleading technology profile warning. And I believe that it really is just meaning that there's so much happening and there's so many subdomains. I'm just summarizing their explanation here, that it's hard for them to actually give you accurate depiction or accurate analysis of the technologies that are on the website. That's why you see a lot of this. But we're not gonna go on and on with that. Let's give you another example. So, for instance, there's a platform that is a WordPress plugin called WooCommerce. So let's try that. Woo.com. So as you can see here, we have analytics and tracking. We have widgets. We have language, e-commerce, mobile, content delivery network, and so forth and so on. Now let's try something that you all may be a little bit familiar with, at least if you're living in 2024 and you're not under a rock. Apple.com. So Apple also has analytics and tracking, widgets, language, a lot of languages, right? E-commerce, frameworks, content delivery network, mapping, and more. So let's just do one more as an example. One of my favorite apps, and no, this is not on the list either, but one of my favorite apps is Calendly. And this app was founded by a Black founder. And I had no idea about that until just about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. However, that doesn't have anything to do with how incredible this app is and how much they have grown. And I'm not saying that this is the only calendar app, but it has grown a lot and it's gotten very popular. So as you can see, they have analytics and tracking, widgets, more language. Hey, y'all gotta brushing up on y'all multilingualness now. That Babel, frameworks, mobile, content delivery network, payment, and more. So hopefully you are understanding that I'm not necessarily looking at these themselves, these tools or these particular plugins or technologies. I'm looking at the overall concept of the tool. Some of you may call it the tool type or the tool category, but I'll explain more what I mean, why I just said tool and not the tool type or tool category. So the first tool we're going to talk about is your domain registrar. And here are a couple examples of some companies that provide this kind of a service within this tool. We have GoDaddy as an example, and they are a domain registration service, a website hosting service, and other website related services. GoDaddy does a lot. So I'm not going to go deep into who GoDaddy is or what GoDaddy is. However, one of their primary services that I myself used to use years and years back was buying a domain. Then I moved to buying domains from Google with Google domains. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we'll see how time tells, and depending when you watch this video, Squarespace purchased Google domains. So now you're going to get your domains, or you're going to buy your domain through your domain registrar. It's a weird word, right? Registrar? Open a registrar. But you're going to find and you're going to get your domains from Squarespace now. So I'm just giving you all a heads up. If you don't know that, and at the date of this video, it is February 2024. We'll see how things go. The next tool was web hosting provider. So we went from a domain registrar, registering your domain. Now we're looking for a way to host our WordPress website. And that is where a web hosting provider comes from. Now, this particular video is not getting deep into the type of hosting, but I will say that in the simplistic form, there are about 3 to 4 different types of hosting. This one, Kinsta, is one of the hosts that we use with iconictemplates.com, and they are a managed WordPress hosting provider. They pretty much handle everything for us for the most part. Then we have SiteGround, which is another hosting provider that we use. It was the hosting provider that we were using before we migrated to Kinsta. However, we still build websites on SiteGround because they're excellent service and they have excellent customer support. Both of them do have excellent customer support. However, your miles may vary and your experience may be different. Either way, SiteGround is a shared hosting provider. So we have a managed hosting provider and we have a shared hosting provider. And that does make a difference. But stay tuned for other videos where we'll go deeper into hosting providers and the pros and cons. The next tool is website themes. So if you're making a WordPress website and you're not looking to do a whole bunch of coding and you're not looking to do a whole bunch of super crazy functionality that you would have to create a theme from scratch with, I would advise you to get a theme or to use a theme that's already made. One of those themes is the 2024 theme by WordPress, and WordPress does a new theme every year. At least they have been doing a new theme every year. Depending on when you watch this video, that may change. Some say that they might be sticking with 2024 for a while because it's a full site editing or a block-based theme. And now full site editing has matured and evolved enough to where it is very functional and usable and user-friendly. But for those of you all who aren't ready to go into the block-based theme world or full site editing world, you can always stick with a tried and true type of classic theme, or some people may call it a feature theme, that is Cadence. Cadence is a wonderful kind of one-size-fits-all theme. Does a great job at meeting many requirements for different verticals, different industries, different applications. Cadence is one of those themes where it's highly flexible, okay? However, Cadence is not a block-based theme, and at the current date of this video, it is not compatible with full site editing. So you will have to use the traditional WordPress editing and styling experience. Now we have widgets. So widgets are a combination of things. And because I'm not the supreme expert of widgetsness, I'm not, okay? The way that I'm breaking down widgets is WordPress plugins and WordPress blocks. Because if you go to BuiltWith, it'll have both in the widgets section. WordPress plugins are tools that enhance the functionality of WordPress. And they come in so many different varieties. Some are free, some are paid. You have e-commerce, SEO, contact forms, social media, sharing buttons, and more. But they're usually what I call the kid in the candy store treatment. Because if you go into your WordPress website and you see all those free tools and that kid in you comes out, you're going to feel like it's you in the candy store and you just been given a blank check. Got to be careful with that because that can mess your site up. We also have WordPress blocks. And these are, no pun intended, the building blocks of your page building experience. So these are the things that you use instead of doing code, instead of knowing code. You use these WordPress blocks here, and they give you functionality so that way you don't have to do code. All you need to do is do settings and editing, which is different than doing coding. Next, we have plugins. So when it comes to plugins, as I just mentioned before, the kid in the candy store metaphor, you got to be really careful. I can't emphasize this enough. I believe plugins outside of hosting are two of the biggest bottlenecks, are two of the biggest problem creators when it comes to the performance of a website, because people just do too much or they don't do enough. So that is something that you want to think of. But when it comes to plugins, we have a plugin that is a form builder. One of my favorite plugins, Fluent Forms. It's a great plugin. It does us wonders when it comes to the flexibility, kind of like the Cadence theme, adds so much functionality that we would typically have to do coding with. And it's very user-friendly. And Fluent Forms is one of many tools within an ecosystem by WP Managed Ninja. Then we have Cadence blocks. And speaking of ecosystem, Cadence is an ecosystem as well too. We just saw Cadence theme a little bit ago. Now you're looking at Cadence blocks. So WordPress has its core blocks, and then you have other block packs that come usually within plugins. And there's so many, I'm not gonna go through a list of them. This is not what this video is for, but I will make a list of my favorite block packs or block-based plugins. But Cadence blocks is one of the most popular and flexible. And even in the free version, you're getting a lot. So check out Fluent Forms and Cadence blocks. Next, we have a payment processor. So if you're looking to do any type of payments on your website, you're gonna need some type of payment processor connected to your WordPress site. We use both Stripe and PayPal for our payment processing. They give you so much flexibility. And I know I've used flexibility again. They give you so much opportunity for taking payments in countries, in areas, and territories that you would not be able to take payments. That's if you're doing worldwide distribution, or you have worldwide audiences, or you do worldwide e-commerce. You want to think about that because that will hurt your money fast. I'm talking about real fast. So be careful on what you're using for your payment processors. Again, I would recommend you use Stripe or PayPal or both. Now we have CDN, and CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. So here we have two content delivery networks. We use both, and for different reasons. Cloudflare is one of my favorite tried and true content delivery networks, and it is one of the most popular, if not the most popular CDN. Again, CDN is short for Content Delivery Network. BunnyNet started as a content delivery network, and then it evolved and grew into other things. And same thing with Cloudflare. They both do multiple things outside of just content delivery. And what's important about having a content delivery network connected to your site, because you don't have to have one. However, going back to our previous slide, when we were talking about worldwide audiences, worldwide distribution, worldwide traffic, if you don't have a content delivery network, people that experience your website that are not close to the server that your website is hosted on, they're going to have a different experience when it comes to their user experience on your website. The site may load really slow. They may see old content or content that should have been updated. And there are many other things that happen when a person is experiencing your website and you don't have a content delivery network connected to your website, and they're not close to your server. Their location of where they live is nowhere near your server. It's going to take more time for them to see your site when they go to your site than it would the person who's close to your server. So be careful with that. That's why you want a content delivery network. And there are many more reasons too. Next, we have email hosting provider. So these are two of my favorite email hosting providers, and for different reasons. We use them for different reasons. With Google Workspace, it is a one size fits all, or it's more of a Swiss Army knife, where not only are you getting the email, but you're also getting other tools too. Now, the reason why I added Google Workspace on here, not just Gmail itself, because it's very confusing and most people have no idea the differences between them. And I understand, Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. I get it. However, with Google Workspace, you're typically getting a professional email. info@yourcompany.com, hello@yourbusiness.com. And the beautiful part about that professional email is you can connect that. Google has opened it up where you can connect that to other email providers, or what do they call them? Email marketing tools. That's a better way to call it. Email marketing tools. And you can connect that to them. And then you can use your Google Gmail with the email marketing tool. And then you can send out transactional emails or bulk emails to people. That will be another video as well too. But I just want to give you the heads up with that. Now, there's limits on doing things that way. And that's why I said we have two email services that we use. Because with Google, we use this for our regular emails, our one-to-one emails, professional email addresses, email aliases. So we have hello, we have support, we have orders, we have info, we have multiple aliases going to this professional email. But when it comes to our transactional emails, meaning emails that you typically will bulk email your subscriber list to, at some point, you don't want to use your Google email because it will flag things. You want to use another email service provider. Amazon has Amazon SES, and there are many more. I know some of you nerds watching this. Listen, we are all geeks around here. We're all tech nerds. We're all creators. We're all entrepreneurs and professionals, or we're looking to become that. So I'm sure you have your alternatives. However, these are my tools, and I just want to share them with you. All right, that's it. And last but not least, number 9, we have analytics. And two tools that I want to discuss that are alternatives of each other are Google Analytics and Matomo. Google Analytics is the most popular analytics tool on the earth. And if it's not, put in the comments and let me know, is there something more popular? Matomo has created a lane because some people don't want all the cookies and don't want all the extraness. Because remember, Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. And some people don't want all that. So Matomo gives more privacy. They're open source tool, and you retain full control of your data. You don't retain full control working with Google. Although Google gives you so many benefits, but you're not in complete control. With Matomo, you are in complete control. So you just have to decide which one you want to do, but there is pros and cons to both ways. And bonus round, we have an SSL certificate. There are two ways, or not two ways. Yeah, there's two ways. Either you're going to pay for it or you're going to get it for free. That's the two ways you're going to get an SSL. Pay for it, get it for free. Let's Encrypt is one of the best free SSLs. It's one of the best free ones, okay? And then Cloudflare, you can do paid and do free. If you're gonna do paid, I would go with Cloudflare or something of an alternative. If you're gonna do free, I would go with Let's Encrypt. However, you can still do free with Cloudflare if I'm not mistaken, but I have to double check that. So don't hold me accountable if that is not correct. Just put it in the comments, let me know. So let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. We've talked about 9 different tools, well, 10 if you add the bonus. And again, you can call them types of tools if you want, or categories, but the reason why I don't call them that is because an email hosting provider is a tool. Analytics tool. Do you have and let's go back. I'm not afraid to go back. A CDN. CDN is a type of tool. A payment processor is a tool. Stripe is the company. PayPal is the company. So hopefully you get where I'm going with this. It's the same way that people would say, hand me a Kleenex, but you really meant hand me a tissue. Oh, Kleenex is the brand. Tissue is the product. And that's something that we're so programmed to forget sometimes. For those of you all who want to try our tools or templates, you can use your phone and scan the QR code here, or you can go to iconictemplates.com and just sign up for free. From there, you'll get an email with an access code that will give you free WordPress block pattern templates. We call them uniblocks around here. But all you gotta do is go to iconictemplates.com or use your phone and scan the QR code. So please, if you have any questions, if you got some answers for me, put them in the comment below. Let's have the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Maestro Stevens with Iconic Templates, and this video was my top 9 WordPress tools for 2024. Peace.